guys. Thank you for joining us at Reality Shades. We are here now. We have a wonderful interview for you guys, and my sister's going to introduce this wonderful lady.
Yes, she's one of my favorite people on Instagram. I go and stalk her page a few times a week, and her name is Rico Foster. Welcome to the show, lady.
Welcome. Thank you for coming.
How you doing?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm good.
I understand. So just tell people a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you from, how did you find your niche?
Well, my name is Rico Foster. I am a former blogger. I guess it's the best way I can kind of describe it.
Okay.
Well, by day, let's split my life up. By day, I'm an educator.
Okay.
I am a veteran English teacher. I taught for about 18 years in the classroom. Yeah. And then, so now I'm not in the classroom, I'm still in education. I'm a program manager. So my day job is that I implement college and career readiness curriculum to elementary school kids. So I am the one that's floating around to some of the elementary schools in Houston and talking to them about their next steps in 5th grade. That's my day job.
Oh, that's cool.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah. And then by night, I'm a mommy. I have 2 kids, Xavier and Zara. Xavier is 5 years old and Zara is 7 years old. And if you're following me, you can find me online. I used to have a blog years ago called God's Favorite Shoes. And so I just kind of rebranded over the years and just use my name. So now I'm just more, so I still blog. I still have my home on ricofoster.com. But I am more so, I like to consider myself just like a content creator. And my niche is really family and lifestyle. So I dabble in a little bit of everything. My blog started out being a fashion blog. And then I often would just like share stories about, things that were happening in my life. And then I'm like, oh, by the way, this is what I wore. And that seemed to get people to gravitate toward me, my style and, mixing prints and just, now everyone mixes prints.
Yeah.
But years ago, that was like kind of not
what you were doing.
That was taboo. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so that, I started blogging about that. And then, I blogged about my wedding, preparing for the wedding. I've been married this year will be 10 years. So 10 years ago, I was blogging. Thank you. Yeah. So now I just kind of do content creation online. I blog about being an educator. I blog about being a parent. I blog about things that I experience, in this Black skin, as a Black woman, as a Black mama, as a Black wife. So, that's really it. I have little projects that I launched throughout the year. Like my kids and I wrote a book last year about voting. I've written an ebook about teacher style. So just a little bit of everything, but nothing.
I love when I look on your page and you talking about being a parent, like how to write a nice but nasty email to the teacher. They gotta be checked about your daughter.
Yeah.
I love, the way that you keep the professionalism, but you make it real to help other parents because it's kind of hard sometimes. I'm not a parent, but I can only imagine how these nephews. Yes. And so I just love your approach, and I love that you share that part of your life to help other people.
Yeah.
To be more involved in their children's life and to have confidence to do so.
Yeah. Thank you. Sometimes, every now and then it just really kind of depends what's going on. Like if something's going on and it's happening in my daughter's class, sometimes it leaks onto like my blog. But, a lot of people often give me so many kudos about being a parent. And I'm just like, I am flying this ship as I build it. Like, I don't know what's happening. I'm just, everybody woke up alive the next morning. That is my goal.
Look, you make it all look good.
You make it look easy.
Yeah. Thank you.
When did you find out, or when did you have that epiphany that you were a woman? Was there ever a moment when you woke up and you was like, I'm a woman?
Yeah. I don't know. Here's the thing. Like for me, my mom will probably attest to this. I've always kind of been mature, right? Like my mom, I really hate when she tells these stories, but she swears like I was the baby that never, like, you know, while kids were, actually, as I'm processing, I'm like, oh, I'm acting like my 5-year-old son now, Xavier. But she would often say, like, I just was very serious. I was a very serious kid. And I mean, I had fun, but I did. I just kind of was like, stuff kids was crawling on the floor and climbing the walls about, and I'm just like, you know, that's stupid, right?
And that floor is dirty. Yeah.
So I don't know if there's ever been a moment when I'm just like, oh my God, like, you know, I'm a woman. Now, there are times still at 45 years old right now where I kind of like will wake up or I'm doing something and I'm like, I'm married.
Yeah.
Or even still, I'm like, I got 2 kids.
It's like those reality moments.
Yes. I don't know if there's ever been a really epiphany that I've been, you know, a woman, just because I kind of always been mature. But I do have those moments when I realize, like, I'm a grown woman. Like, oh, I got a husband and a kid. I got to make sure they okay. And
right. The head of the household, so to speak. You know, but okay, so we were talking about parenting. And how do you navigate parenting in this day and age? Like, you know, my son would be 30 this year, and I just wanted to know, how are you parenting your 5 and I think you said 7-year-old in this day and time when you can turn on the radio and they're talking about all kind of vulgar things. They're not even censoring anything. So how do you navigate that? Do you talk to them bluntly about it, or you just don't have the radio on at all, or stuff like that?
I feel like I'm not gonna call myself a helicopter mom, right? Other people may view me as that, but I don't think that. But I am always there. I don't know. I think the best way I can answer this is like, I'm always on ready.
Yes.
Okay.
Right? I'm always listening. Like, even in the car, here's a great example. You talk about music. Like, we have XM radio. You know, we have Tidal. We have all the music apps. And, you know, sometimes depending on where we're going, we're all in the car with my husband and I at the same time. And, you know, sometimes there have been times when very rarely do we listen to the regular radio because of what you just described. Right. Because it doesn't take for a second. Last weekend, I remember having it on the radio, which is very rare for me. And Megan Thee Stallion song came on. And, you know, I love the Stallion.
Come on now.
I do love this Stallion, so make no mistake.
Yes, okay, same here.
The Stallion is not, I'm not ready for my kids to listen to the Stallion.
Exactly.
Right? Yes. And when I was, you know, before I kind of caught it, I was like, they are not doing much about censoring or, you know, like, I don't know. To me, it was a little, I don't know, risque, if you will.
Yeah.
Even the radio version, right?
Yeah,
it is.
So I do a lot of shutting off, or even sometimes I'm like, I'm lurking behind my husband. Sometimes he'll like listen to something, like, you know, a couple of weeks ago, DMX died, right? And we all like DMX all day. But then I was like, Sean, you can't play it. You can't play it. Don't play that.
Not in front of them.
Yeah. So he might be a little lax, but he knows how I am. Like, and we ain't about that life over here, right? I just feel like they have plenty of time to get corrupted, because it's gonna happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
not right now.
Rather it not be by me, right? And I also would rather it not be right now. So if there are things that I can do to curb that, I try to. You know, I'm not saying that I walk around singing, you know, Donna McClurkin and Shirley Caesar. I am not. Right? We're not doing that over here.
But I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
But I think that also, think that style is how I am kind of about everything. Like, even with YouTube, there are times when I kind of notice things that they're watching on YouTube, and I have to shut it down. I'm like, you can't watch that channel. And that's just kind of how I roll. I don't really have a rule book, right? Yeah. But I'm trying to not make my kids like super sheltered. Yeah, but I also am not ready to give my kids to the world. I'm not ready.
Exactly, because they're still babies. So you want them to have a child
as long as they can.
Yeah, you know, but everybody doesn't think like that.
Right.
I was telling my husband yesterday, I was at one of my campuses for work, and every now and then I have to interact with, you know, maybe kindergarten kids. I'm around them. I'm not really teaching them, right? And so I remember going to a specific campus yesterday, and I kept hearing this like tapping on the desk, and I kept thinking, who has nails up in here? It was the kindergarten girl. She had like a full, and I'm not talking about like the little dollar store nails. She had a full set of long nails, and it was a kindergarten class.
Never in my life.
Yes.
But that's the world that we live in, like you're saying. We don't really have a lot of parents that will censor and like, why would you give your child? You know, the fingernail maybe, but you putting the whole nail, acrylic nail.
She went to the. She definitely.
Yeah. I would have took a picture.
I would have took a picture. I would have definitely took a picture.
Like for real, because
No, I didn't take a picture, but I just, in that moment, what I thought was, I'm not saying my kids are better. They are not better. I am not better. Yes. But I just remember thinking I just kept thinking about the parent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
You go straight to the parent.
Why am I? Yeah, because it's like, well, she clearly got permission to do this. And you know, I'm not, you know, I don't want to be judgmental. Everybody has their style of parenting. Right. But I think for 5 to 6 year olds, that's a little too much.
Ma'am.
Yes.
That's me.
But you know, these parents these days want to be their child's friend.
Yeah.
You know, so that probably holds a big part.
5 years old.
5, girl.
I've never personally seen it before.
Me neither. That's why I'm over here like still like I heard it out today. Seriously.
That's why I wish you would have took a picture.
And showed us outline. Her little hands.
Hand out, little girls, so I can take it.
Wow. I love like it's like you have old school values even in this new school age, you know, and I love that about you. Like I really, really admire that about you, that you're not gonna allow the culture to raise your children.
Yes.
And then I think a lot of parents can, you know, learn from you on that. So kind of like censor them. And I like it's kind of like you have like a easy going, go with the flow kind of thing. Like how you're saying, it's like when things pop up, then I have to address it, and then you address it with wisdom. So I
also believe in kids having rights, and I mean, you know, I'm Black.
Yes. We don't know about it.
But I do believe in kids feeling free. You know, I'm not, you know, telling my kids like you gonna go to hell. I'm not doing any of that because I don't believe in any of that, right? So I'm very liberal in a lot of my ideologies, right? Yes. But I just want to be protective of their innocence as long as I can. That doesn't mean they can't dance. They definitely listen to secular music. Yeah. They definitely do, you know, they watch YouTube. I'm not censoring every single thing, but I also still want them to be a child. Like, I just don't want to give my kids over to YouTube completely.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, exactly.
Because they be sneaking a little stuff in on YouTube.
They sure do. With the cartoons and all that.
Remember a few years ago, somebody saying something about telling the kids to commit suicide?
Right, in a cartoon.
I got time for all that. So, with everything that you have going on, how do you find balance for you, being a mom, being a wife? How do you find balance?
I cannot say that I have found it. I definitely struggle in that area, right? Okay. And it fluctuates. Like I do have to remind myself, even today, last night, I remember thinking probably around 7 o'clock, like, Rico, you haven't drank any water today.
You just going and going.
Home. Yeah, just going and going. I went to work. We are going to a wedding this weekend. So after work, I have to go find everybody outfits for the wedding.
Oh, my.
And, all of this here stuff in preparation for the weekend wedding, right?
Yes.
I came home and everybody ate something, But by the time 7 or 8 o'clock, I literally remember, oh, Rico, you need to stop and drink water. So I definitely struggle with it. But one of the things that I definitely advocate, and one of the things I do not flake on, is therapy. I am a huge advocate of therapy. I've been going to therapy. This will probably be my 3rd consistent year of going to therapy.
You like it? What does it do for you? Is it like it's like a weight off? Like you're able to kind of release some of the stress that you have by talking to someone else?
Yeah, I think it might be that, but it's also like you can't dump on your friends all the time.
Yeah.
Right? Because they have their own lives.
Exactly.
And they can only take so much, right? You can't dump on your husband all the time. Sometimes you're dumping about your husband.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
You know, you can't dump on your kids. So I like the fact that I got somebody that they gotta listen to me, whether I'm paying her or not. Yeah. But more so, what I really get out of it is that it allows me to slow down and process things. You know, that I don't necessarily slow down and really think about, like, you know, some of the things that I do. Like maybe she is asking me, why am I always at the ready about being a parent? Like, why don't you sit up a little bit? So it allows me, you know, sometimes to process things. And also tools. I just feel like, you know, the world is here and we all out here just wilding out and trying to make it from day to day. But there are tools that we can, you know, if we, you know, look for it. So I enjoy that my therapist sometimes, you know, I'm a very, I won't say rigid personality, but I'm one of those, like, either you is or you ain't, either you on or you off, right? Right. And sometimes my therapist is like, well, Rico, why I gotta be like that?
Makes you think.
I'm like, well, you know, I ain't have to cut that girl off like that. I ain't have to pretend like she was dead. Like,
right.
Like, why I had to do that? I ain't have to go that far, you know?
It's a form of self-care. It's like, you know, you gotta get yourself right.
Yeah. So if there's anything that I do consistently, is that. Like, I usually very rarely cancel those sessions. They're every 2 weeks. And then everything else I struggle with. You know, sometimes I'm on it with my food. Everything is healthy. I'll fall off. Sometimes I'm really great with, like, exercising for a week, but, you know, I'm still working on consistency. Yeah. So I haven't figured out. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Say I don't. I'm still trying to figure it out.
I love that so much, the honesty and everything. But again, it just looks so easy from the outside looking in.
Right. Because I see you producing things and doing things.
You're doing it.
So it's like you don't know the behind the scenes. You know, like you said, of the balance, you know, that comes behind it. So I think that's another thing for me. Is like you said, finding that balance, but still being able to produce in the midst of maybe little day-to-day struggles that you have. So kudos to you, girl.
Yes. Absolutely.
But, you know, I also want to make sure I always say this, like, what you got, like, you guys know me online. People are only going to present the highlight reel online. So I might have just had a knockdown, drag out. You know, what I really do try to do, especially because my brand is my life, you know, what I do, my life. I really try my best to be authentic. So I'm not the type of person that's just going to post, you know, just to be posting, right? But also, they're like, you know, I have a real life and I argue and I fight and I struggle with things. I have family members I don't talk to.
Me too,
you know, me and my mamas, we be butting heads. But you guys don't get all that.
Exactly.
That's on the real. So
I love that.
Yeah, so I think, you know, I appreciate that, but I also like to be transparent and say, like, those are highlight reels, child.
Like everybody else.
You know, relationship with God. Do you have one, and how does that help you in your everyday life?
Yes, I definitely have a relationship with God. I am a lifelong Christian, and I don't say that like, you know, I haven't had unwavering faith. You know? I'm not saying that like, I follow the Bible.
Yeah, right.
Come on. Right. But that is my foundation. That's how I grew up. And I never feel like I don't know if I've ever been in a situation where I maybe question God. I don't feel like that. I've always believed that there is a God.
Yes.
But I have struggled with religion. Not God, but religion.
Yes.
I struggled with churches. But not God. Right.
Exactly.
So I definitely think the older I've gotten, even now, I find myself, I can be driving and Meg Thee Stallion can be playing and I'll be like, Lord, thank you for today. Or Lord,
that's me.
I promise you I do. Like just driving. And it just, I don't know, it's just something natural that I've done. I feel like I'm more conscious of doing it the older I get now. But I do find myself doing it. Like even sometimes when nothing's wrong, sometimes I'll say, Lord, thank you because nothing is wrong. And that is growth.
Come on.
You know what I mean? Like
it's a God mind. You're God minded in everything that you do. That resonates with us because that's us. Like anything, we'll give him praise no matter what we're doing. It doesn't matter. Like you said, Meg Thee Stallion or whatever. We'll be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much.
See, I mean, like the religious mind tell you that you can't listen to Meg Thee Stallion and put God in that same category. That's religion. Because but having a real relationship with God is whatever I'm doing. I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna say thank you. So that's big. Like I'm really big on relationship, not religion. Because you got to make it personable to you and your personality. Because God is a very personal God. You got to start wherever you are. Because
absolutely.
You want to talk to him, especially in these perilous days where everybody's all over the place. So you gotta tell them, you better find the time to side. You know,
I feel like he's gonna prune us as we get on. You know what I mean? As we get on,
absolutely,
in our relationship. So where when we listen to Meg Thee Stallion, if it's just weird, we'll be like, oh no,
not today.
I don't want to hear that.
So like you said, some animal hurts and stuff today. I get my spirit right.
You know,
like there's times when you need to be in certain moods. And I think it's good to have that knowledge of, hey, I can tune everything out and just find my center with God. So how do you find like your connection with God just on your day-to-day, outside of being in the car? Like, do you have that moment when you're at home and you're just worshiping God? Or
that happens a lot. I'm not gonna lie, sitting here, I physically I probably haven't picked up a Bible in a long time, right? Like an actual hardcore Bible.
Yeah.
But I come across things all the time. They have Bible verses. I mean, once upon a time, years and years ago, I used to teach children's church, so I know the Bible. I may not quote like a scripture, verbatim, but I know what's in the Bible. I get the gist of it, right?
Yes.
But there can always be room for growth. I actually, my husband and I, we just talked about we need to get like a couple's Bible study workbook together. We just recently talked about it. Yeah, we ain't done it yet. But I'm just saying.
Y'all already planted the seed. Y'all talk about it, so it's gonna happen.
Yeah. But one of the things that I really am trying to do more is be prayerful, more prayerful, and also being grateful in the prayers that that I'm asking for God, from God. But I also sometimes I make a conscious decision to pray without asking for anything.
Gotcha.
Right? And I definitely think that helps me just appreciate who God is and what he does, even when I'm not conscious of it.
Gotcha.
We did have a church home. We loved it. We at one point we really were trying to find a church because we do have kids, and we at minimum wanted them to have a foundation, right? I'm not gonna force my kids to follow any religion. I'm not, but right now the foundation is mommy is a Christian, dad is a Christian. And when you get old enough, you get to explore whatever it is you do or don't believe. That's fine with me. But at least you have something to compare it to, right?
Yeah.
So I was at this great church. I love the people. Honestly, I love the pastor. I've also had previous experiences with churches that kind of turned me off. But I was happy to have found a church home, right? And so, unfortunately, the church did what churches do, which is mess up the good stuff, right?
My gosh.
Yeah, so we decided collectively that like this was not the church for us. And then maybe 6 or 7 months later, Corona hit, right? So we haven't been worshiping in a church.
Yeah.
So that is kind of one of our goals, is to, you know, when we feel Corona is gone, because Corona ain't gone.
When we feel
we're gonna let everybody else have the streets right now.
I'm wearing the mask still.
Yeah.
Okay, well, look,
but
in
eventually
closing,
we want to find a church. Mm-hmm.
In closing, I cut you off, I'm sorry. In closing, what words of encouragement would you offer any of us in regards to what they love or maybe afraid to step out and do?
Mm-hmm. I'm not even gonna talk a long time about that. It's really just do it. Just do it. I just feel like there's so many things that we protect ourselves from what the fear of what could happen.
And
I'm talking to myself too. There are many things I've talked myself out of because I thought it would make sense, right?
Yeah.
But I really do myself a disservice, because then I'm walking around here, you know, with all of these gifts and ideas that God has given me. And I feel like sometimes I'm even doing him a disservice by not, you know, making some of these ideas and gifts come to fruition, right?
Yeah.
A couple of days ago, I was at work, and so I meet a lot of different people on campuses, and, you know, I work with, you know, sometimes I just bump into people. And so I somehow bumped into this lady. She was a teacher's aide, older lady. She was 60 years old, and I've definitely seen her over the years, but I've never talked to her like in, you know, for a long amount of time. Yeah. So somehow we started talking, and she was just saying how that she had been a teacher's aide for over 25 years, and you know, she had been trying to become a teacher, and she kept failing the certification test.
Yeah.
And she kept saying, her phrasing was, I almost had that job, but that principal didn't give it to me. And like, she was talking in past tense, like this happened 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And I remember the whole time, I was just like, she can't move forward. And like, I am no prophet. My name is Rico Foster. Okay? I want to make sure it's very clear who is speaking right now. Rico Foster. I am not a prophetess, but I could tell that she was stuck.
She was stuck.
And so she was, I mean, in years. And yes, traumatic. From what she told me, I could tell some very traumatic things that happened to her. But I felt like she was still living in that trauma. Yeah. So after I allowed her to talk, and I mean like 30 minutes, after that, I literally said, so what is it that you want to do? Do you want to be a teacher? And she said, no, I want to be a crafter.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
So why you?
So I was just.
Yeah. But like you said, she was just so stuck in rehearsing that same trauma, that same story, and that you cannot move forward looking back.
Yeah.
A prime example of it.
And she was in her 60s. God bless her, Lord.
Yes. And like, I found myself in the end trying to encourage her.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you want to crush? She said that she liked to put together calendars, like what does it call it? Like
organizers,
planners.
Okay.
So she said that she likes to put, you know, create planners, and so she said she wanted to be on YouTube doing it. So I was like, do you have a phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking, you know, and I told her, I'm like, she showed me pictures of a craft room where everything is in boxes. And I was like, look, I gotta go. I was like, the next time I see you, can you show me a picture with your stuff out of the box?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, girl.
And on display in your craft room. I was like, that's what your homework is for me the next time I see you in 2 weeks. And she just was kind of like, oh, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you're doing all of this and you failed all these tests, but that ain't even what you want to do.
That ain't even what you want to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome advice.
I hope that she really heard my heart. Like, I wasn't trying to say, like, girl, get over yourself. I wasn't saying that. I was just saying, you spend a lot of time analyzing what's wrong. Let's talk about what can go right.
Yes.
I love it
right there. I want to ask you one last question because this just in, breaking news about the whole George Floyd verdict. Do you have any comments or feelings about that?
I love that question.
I do. It's really personal because I went to high school with George Floyd. I went to Yates High School.
Oh my gosh.
And
wow. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's okay. So he graduated the year before me. So I'm 94. So either 93, 92. And we weren't best friends or anything like that. But, he was a football player. At Yates, all the football players.
Yeah.
Big deal at Yates. So, so for me, it's too close to home, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, I am so relieved at the verdict. Yeah. But I'm not celebrating because I'm just like, why are we celebrating doing the right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, I get why people celebrate though, because no one expected for him to get, to be guilty on all 3 counts. I get the celebration, but isn't it sad that we're celebrating what should be the norm?
Come on, right? Exactly. For Black people.
Yeah. So for me, it's bittersweet. I just thought about his daughter all day. I thought about the pain. She's little, but eventually she's going to grow up and know, the true balance of what happened to her dad. And
my gosh,
to her dad, and that still hurts my heart for her. Yeah, I guess just because I'm a mom, right?
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I'm satisfied with the result, but I'm not celebrating because it should have never happened.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for being on the show.
So awesome.
Thank you.
People don't know that this is our second interview with you because we had some technical difficulties. So I'm just so grateful that you're a patient person and you was willing to come back on here a second time and get this interview done. So thank you again.
Thank you. Your spirit is still the same.
Yeah.
So awesome. Thank you for blessing us again with an interview. And this one is clear and it's going to be great.
We had a great conversation and I love you. Yes. So until next time.
I feel as if when the verdict was read, it wasn't like a joyous thing. It was like, okay, my thing is the sentencing.
Yeah.
When the sentencing is given, then maybe I'll be able to kind of be satisfied. But him being found guilty is like, okay, yeah, that's what he's supposed to.
We knew he was guilty before they even did a trial. And see, that's my whole thing. Why was there even a trial for this situation? We already blatantly seen this man on his neck. He had no kind of remorse on his face.
No,
he did it so boldly in front of millions of people because everybody had their cameras out.
Everybody.
And, people that was out there. So why was there even a trial?
Because in the United States, you are guilty until proven innocent. Even though he's on a video, blatantly killing our brother, they still had to go through the due process, so to speak. But it's like bittersweet. Thank you for the what you're supposed to do, that he was supposed to be found guilty, but now the sentencing needs to be fast and hard.
Yeah.
And what do you think about him being found guilty? How do you think other cops are gonna feel now, the racist cops? You think they're gonna think twice now?
I mean, I would hope this would be, an example maybe to them that
you will be held accountable.
Basically, y'all can't just keep on killing Black people because you want to and not get, reprimanded. So I'm hoping that this does start a good chain of reaction for Black people to be treated fairly, no matter what they're into. If it's a traffic stop violation or whatever, we deserve the same respect that our counterparts receive. Just fairness, and equality.
I feel like that's all we've been asking for that since the beginning of time. And
before he was even born, honey.
Yeah, it's perpetual. It's been set.
I just want us to just start making strides. I hope that this is this will start something.
I'm not very optimistic about that, but yeah, let's.
I mean, you're just being honest, and I have to. I feel the same way a little
bit. Let's just hope that at least this gives them a second glance to not just freely kill us.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll think twice now.
Because what about what just was it last week where the lady killed the young boy last week? Remember that?
It was last week.
I forgot his name. His name was something White, I believe.
Dante.
Right? Yeah, Dante. Yeah, him. Like something just happened.
Yeah,
you know?
She said that she thought her gun was a taser.
And then when she shot him, she says, "Oh my God, I shot him." Like.
Now, from what I know, a taser is vastly different
from a
gun. It's like lighter, and then I think it's like a different color. It's not even the same color as a gun. So that was false.
Yeah.
So hopefully she'll get the highest extent of the law.
See, she tried to do the coward's way by, resigning.
Oh, well, that's fine, ma'am. You can resign, but you'll still get your just due as well. But you know what? Also, they do. When I say they, the others. The other nations, they rally behind each other.
Oh yeah.
Like the murderer of George Floyd, I'm sure his wife, his family don't really have to worry about anything because they rally behind each other and they give them money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They set him up. So I know that he's not going to be in a federal prison to where he can be chilling. He's going to be in a regular prison to where that's excellent because he either is going to have to be in solitaire for the rest of his life because if he's in general population,
they're going to try to get that boy.
He essentially is dead too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm exhausted.
Yeah, because
I'm exhausted about it,
yeah.
And it keeps happening. They continue to kill us, and now they have no. They don't care if we're male, female,
child,
old, young. Mm-hmm. It's just getting to that time, and
we just have to continue to educate ourselves
and also get wisdom. The word and get that covering, that armor in the morning. You cover yourselves, men. You cover yourselves, women. Women, cover your babies and your husbands and your boyfriends because they need that.
Yeah.
We need to cover them, and the only weapon that we have is God.
Yeah.
Only weapon that we have is the word.
Yeah.
And I know that may sound, I don't know what it may sound, but it's the truth. Yeah. That's what we need to do. That's our only weapon. We don't have any systemic resources to where we can fire anybody, or we may think that we can cause change by voting, but not necessarily. We're still getting killed.
Yeah, come on.
So I just think that we need to focus on the Lord, our Father, the Most High God, who is the creator of everything, to where he will protect us in everywhere. We'll have that armor on. You know what I'm saying?
So no
weapon formed against us. Yeah. And he says that once we come together, he's going to hear us and heal our land. But we're not coming together.
Yeah.
We're still challenging and popping it. But again, I'm not going to keep saying that because I've said that so many times. But yeah, that's what we need.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Okay, well, hey.
That's the Black Flow. I don't have anything else to say because, like you said, we have continued to talk about it. We did a whole segment about, does Black Lives Matter? So you know how we feel if you listen to the show. Mm-hmm. We're very, we have strong opinions about it. And
so very pro us.
Yeah.
Okay. So. That cannot be refuted, and we're not going to back down from being pro us. It's not that we're pro us and
we hate people.
It's not.
I don't hate white people.
I don't hate them. I just know from
their
which
MOs.
they came.
Yeah.
And again, it's not all of them. It's a very sprinkle few that are not
hateful.
Yeah. And then even that they have been raised to be racist, but some of them choose not to be. Yeah. That makes sense. So yeah, we're just not dumb to that. And my sister we want to articulate that we know.
Yeah.
We want y'all to know. Yeah. And whenever I learn something, I want to tell you guys. And whenever she learns something, I want to tell you guys. And let's talk about it. Because I'm not all the way. Yeah, I'm not all the way. I'm not just a genius on it. Is that the word? I'm just not a. I'm learning. Is what I'm trying to say.
We all learn every day. Every day that we get up, it's another day for us to learn and educate ourselves. And
so if I'm wrong in any way, I would love for somebody to be like,
chime in, send a comment. Our email is up there. Email us.
You know what I'm saying?
And also connect with us on our email. Connect with us on our social sites if you want us to talk about a certain subject. Come in, subscribe. We would love to have that kind of dialogue.
I would love it. Oh, that would be awesome.
I'm all down for learning and
I educating
myself on different topics.
I want to learn
and becoming better. So with that being said, those are Black Flow. And so before I get out of here, I have to extend an invitation to Christ to any newbie, any OG, or anybody who is familiar with God. Repeat after me. Father God, thank you for this glorious day. Thank you for our life, health, and strength. Come into our hearts, be our Lord, and write our name in your book that we belong to you. We love you. We thank you. We praise you. In Jesus' mighty name, I pray these blessings and many more of your blessings. Thank God. Amen. And that's it. It's a wrap. This is our 10th episode, so I think we're getting better and better, hopefully.
Yeah. 10. I remember, again, when you were like, I can't wait till we're at 10, 11, and 12.
30 episodes in. It's coming. And, we got some more good interviews coming up.
Yes. Oh, my gosh.
I just love it. I just love this. What God is doing in our lives.
Thank you, Father.
We're just flowing.
That's it.
And so we want to encourage you, because this is the whole point of the show, is to stir up the gifts within each other, so that we can all, show out, support each other, educate one another, encourage one another to go ahead and do what God called you to do. And it don't matter if it's on a big stage or a small stage, but you have a purpose in this earth. And so I hope that our show is encouraging you to just step out on faith and just do what God called you to do, and just do what you love, because it will give you that confidence and everything that you are seeking in this life. So with that being said, thank y'all.
That was perfect.
See y'all again on the next episode. Bye.